When I left fundamentalist Christianity, I realized that their ideology teaches members of all genders that women can't biblically lead a group or serve in the top levels of man-centered structures of the patriarchy. And you might say, what's wrong with that? Especially if you were raised in an environment that you don't feel or think anything negative about barring women from fundamentalist leadership roles. What's wrong with believing that the majority of people on the planet are inferior behaviorally, physically, emotionally, because of their gender? The big giants of Christianity, like St. Augustine, believe that women were underdeveloped men. That women's behavior and actions occurred because of hysteria, their reproductive organs. Fundamentalist ideology believes that all women should be silent, controlled, governed, and minimalized. That is the way fundamentalism works. There's no caveats. There's nothing that makes it okay. It's just what it is. And what's so damaging about all of this is that women just sit back and think it's normal. Oh, I'm a woman. I deserve to be led. I'm a sheep. And it's like, are you kidding me? You believe you're inferior because you just happen to not have a penis? It doesn't make sense. I mean, it does not make sense. The mistreatment women go through, the being subjugated, the same way African Americans are subjugated, where they believe their brains aren't developed, which is, in my opinion, one of the most egregious parts of racism that exists in our culture today. Can you imagine if anyone said that white men were underdeveloped women, that they were a scourge on the gender of women? Can you imagine the outcry, the violence that would happen criticizing something that Christians worship, the male heterosexual cis form? Can you imagine the outcry? And yet they have no problem calling women garbage, whore, Satan's minion, cretin. They have no problem dehumanizing women because women aren't people in their mind. They're holes, the place that people come out of, but they're not people. Any religion that creates men like this is an outrage. Any religion, any institution, secular or religious, that view women or anyone like this should be completely eradicated from civilized culture. There's a reason why every culture that treats women like garbage is almost gone. Every civilization and country that viewed women, gay people, and African Americans and minorities as garbage, most of them are gone. That's why places like Rome and Greece and Babylon died, because they allowed the powerful people to become so powerful, they alienated and angered the lesser people. That's why civilizations fall. When you treat everyone differently and unequally, you create the problems that follow. If you've ever read The Handmaid's Tale, the reason why Gilead falls is because of the way they treat women and minorities. You treat women like vending machines, at some point, the vending machines dry up, metaphorically speaking. I mean, any institution that treats women like garbage should be condemned, should be gotten rid of, should be villainized. We should villainize any religion, group of people, or ideology that dehumanizes anyone for any reason besides being awful. Dehumanizing Nazis? I mean, they were horrible people. That doesn't mean all Nazis were bad people, because in time of war, people are forced to be part of groups they don't want to. But those really weren't Nazis. Those were people who were unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time. Bad people should be villainized. They do it in movies all the time. There's a reason why before 1970, almost every villain was gay, trans, or didn't meet gender or political requirements. And when I look at things like the Republican Party, I can smell the racism and the sexism and the homophobia a mile away. Because if women just stopped believing their BS, the world would collapse. If women didn't do invisible labor, the whole society we know would collapse. Because the people who are left just won't pick up the slack. That is our society. Society is really built on the dehumanization of women. And unfortunately, as long as we view, as church members, as long as we view groups of people like women or anyone who does not adhere to toxic gender and bodily autonomous expectations, we are going to have problems. And when the Pope says, oh, we're progressive, yet I don't remember any female, gay, or trans Pope. Someone put it down in the comments if there's been one. You're not progressive if women cannot be in charge. You're not progressive if gay people can't become Pope. You're not progressive if you are the religious community with the most CSA and SA on record. You're not progressive. You're fooling yourself. Christianity is notorious. And I grew up in Baptist churches. Baptists, the most nefarious, insidiously known for covering up the abuse of children. You can say God this and God that all you want. You cover up and protect abusers, you're the enemy. And everyone who does that, upon the day they die, they're not going to have anything beyond what they have now. Because hell does not exist. And all we can do is destroy the legacy of racist, awful, sexist people. I refuse to support, financially or with my labor and my attention, anything that dehumanizes women. Women build things, okay? Women build things. Men subjugates people. That's just the way it is. Until a lot of the racist generations die off, that's just how it's going to be for quite a while. I read somewhere that women won't get equality for about 300 more years. Imagine that. That's not really a surprise at all.